Here's the title of this article. Don't you like it?
Firefighter tryouts.
It's great.
Who's doing this?
The first line is hauling a heavy hose 100 feet proved the undoing of several young men who tried out for the Connorsville Fire Department last Saturday. Firefighter tryouts. I mean, isn't that? I love it.
I think that's brilliant.
Basically, probably just a physical test, but
My hatred for the CPAT is unending. It does the fire service such a disservice. I mean,
what physical job, what other industry has a test to be a firefighter that does not actually replicate being or doing that job? You know, like you're not in gear.
Yeah, well,
And I know that's a big ask, right? Because you have to acclimate. Like there is part of it of learning to operate in it, but
like you're doing fireground tasks in the CPAT. Like I understand that piece. What the disservice is the amount of time you have to do it in.
too long.
It's obscene. Like
Was it 10:30?
I don't know. It seems like a half hour. Okay. But like, if you could take all the same tasks, right, and then you get either more points or
well, you should be able to go faster on the stairs if you want to go faster on the stairs.
100%.
You know, everybody's got to go the same speed. That's dumb.
Let her rip, tater chip. Like, I want this.
I mean,
job.
so 3 minutes. It's 90 steps a minute, I think, right? And you got it 3 minutes.
3 minutes, and then
So that's 270 steps. So, what's a floor? 20 steps, probably.
Depends on the flight. But
you know, so that is 15 floors. I'm gonna knock that out.
Like, let's go.
Yeah, straight up, just sprint. And I know that you got to be on a stair, but you can skip stairs on a stairmaster.
Yeah, you can, or you're gonna eat shit.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, but turn this baby up.
Yeah.
You know, let's go.
Yeah, I think I know that it would take the number of candidates down, but it would increase the quality of candidates. If you make it harder, people will either rise to the occasion and actually train for it, or they're going to peace out and find something else to do.
It solves the problem.
Solves a problem.
Yeah.
I love the idea of tryouts. I mean, so how do you make tryouts objective?
Clock. That's the most objective feedback ever. The clock. That's why like Olympic sports like track, swimming, you know, anything that has a clock on it, I find enjoyable because, you know, there's no argument.
Yeah.
It's when some of these like sports have judges, and that's exactly what I think when you don't have a physical test that's ranked, and it's just maybe interview or what, then it's judges.
I think you need those things. I think you need interviews.
Yeah.
To get
Can't
to
be
know
the
the
only
people.
thing.
But if we're out on the drill ground and we're having an interview, right? Like I'm seeing your resume on your body, and then you're chatting with the person, you kind of see what they're all about. I think that's way more valuable than, you obviously you have to take a written. We don't want any dum-dums, but you also need to increase that physical standard to make your fire department better.
And you don't necessarily have to make it pass fail on a certain time. Just time everyone and rank everyone.
Yeah.
And then based on the pool that you have, 0 to 100 points, right? However many applicants you have, right? And then, I don't know what the spread would be, but if you're the worst guy, you get 0 points. If you're the best guy, the very best guy out of 100 guys, you get 100 more points or something.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to kick back from that.
Firefighter tryouts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on.
This kind of goes along the same lines as tryouts, but after you have the job, going out and having to perform those skills like say you did in the academy or whatever, why does that create so much angst in people who are already on the job, you think?
I mean,
especially if like you put the clock on it. Can I tell you what I think?
Great question. No.
Okay. Show's over.
Yeah.
I think that it's a culture issue in the department. It's not necessarily the tasks. It's that those departments don't seem to have cultivated a performance culture. They have created a reputation culture where people hold their reputation so dear that they don't want to have anyone put that in jeopardy, as opposed to like a performance culture where people want that top spot. They want to show off the fact that they are that good. And so I think if you can, and I don't really know how to do it. I'm open to I'm open to suggestions, but I think if you can create an atmosphere where people very often are failing in front of each other and pushing the limits, getting held accountable for not having the correct performance, that's how you create that performance culture. As opposed to, we don't mess with these guys because, they say they're awesome.
A piece of that is a lot of times I think firefighters, their identity is almost too far ingrained in the job, right? Their personal identity, who they are. They're nothing else but a firefighter, right? That's it, when you think of their identity. And I think that is hard to face if that is your identity, and then you have to go prove yourself, and thinking that you could fail at that, what's that going to do for your ego? What's that going to do for your go back to your reputation? What's that going to do for your reputation?
Yeah, I don't know if they're, the way I see it, I don't know if they're so tied to the job and their identity as a firefighter. They're tied to the identity of being a great firefighter. So like their ego's wrapped up in the fact that like this person is built up, that if they fail, they've lost that part of their identity. Their ego gets crushed.
And that's what I'm saying is, and it's a huge part of it.
Huge part.
So you'll see the reactions of kind of pushback, and resistance, instead of, it's kind of going back to, I will do, having that mentality of I will do whatever it takes to be great at this job, even if it means failing, or, introspection, leaning on mentor, whatever. Like, I want to know, I want to surround myself with people that if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that they're going to hold me accountable, because that's the way you stay in the game. That's the way,
Yeah, I think it goes back to having the right leadership in the right spots. And I'm not even saying formal leaders, like having good backseaters that are going to hold everybody on there. It doesn't matter who it is on the crew that's going to hold people accountable. But like, you have to have those folks.
Yeah.
And when you have a department or, could be a whole entire station or a couple stations or battalion, that there is none of that. And then if someone tries to rise above, they get smashed. Of like, we don't do that here. Go to this other place if you want to act like that. Like that is going to crush your
yeah.
culture.
I mean, you see sometimes just as many problems when it comes to skills under pressure. You can see just as many problems in the busiest stations as the slowest stations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's like they both of those groups don't want their egos to get bruised. And I think it's the ones where they're failing so much that, like, yeah, we all have egos, like 100%. I think that in some ways makes you more productive, right? Because you like want to live up to this thing that you think you are. But our group that we surround ourselves with, we get humbled so often that it's not a big deal to go out and fail in front of people.
I would much rather have the pressure of having to continuously maintain a reputation with my peers.
Yeah.
I did this last year, but we're doing it again. I need to make sure that I can prove that to these guys I can still do it, rather than the pressure of showing up on a fire and going, man, I hope this goes all right.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not worried about that. We've talked about it. When you train with so much pressure, you don't dread the fires.
No, it's
not
like,
at all.
oh, it's game day.
I would say that the pressure comes from not wanting to let like your crew down, and having to consistently prove yourself. Yeah, I'm still in the game,
Yeah.
not like I'm still the best. It's, hey, I'm still in the game. I'm still working. I'm still going to lay on line, still going to, be able to do this skill no matter how old I get.
Yeah. One thing that we've had a couple recruits come through the academy that have, total studs, and we're not first at everything. And you kind of begin to realize that like your inability to be number one does not diminish the fact that like it doesn't take respect away from those people who might be bigger, stronger, faster than you are. Like it actually, you're providing them a little bit of a boost of like, oh man, we just beat the instructors. Like that's awesome.
That's a whole nother conversation, but that should be the goal of any cadre is by the end, these guys should be better than we are, faster,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to have the experience. They're not going to have that slideshow on all these calls we go on, and maybe the most refined decision making because they just don't have the kind of the events to pull on, past events. But it should be, these guys should be dialed and bigger, faster, stronger than all of us by the time they get out.
Yeah, it's that whole like other people's successes do not equal your failures, right? Like what you eat doesn't make me shit. Like what your success is really, I should just be happy for you. And it doesn't diminish what I'm doing. But that's kind of what we see is like those people with real fragile self-esteems, they get like personally injured by other people having success.
Yeah.
And I think that's the benefit of having a performance culture. I think that just makes for a better fire department. Thanks for tuning into The Standard Issue. Get exclusive content and support the show through our Patreon. You can find the link through the-standard.us. While you're there, check out our premium gear and links to our sponsors. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Till next time.